It's beautiful. That's why we do it. This isn't some exercise in popcorn selling. This is art.
Jamie, my queen, first and foremost, happy Halloween.
I see what shirt you're wearing. Someone else might have the same damn shirt. Or I used to. It's gone.
Well, we can talk to Small Town and get it for you if you like.
I've worn it. I think I don't have to wear it anymore. I think this is the movie, which means I don't have to wear it anymore.
It's been 4 years since Michael Myers vanished without a trace. He killed my daughter. But tonight, I will kill him. Come and get me. You came here to kill me, so do it.
Both you and your mother have left an indelible impact on the horror genre, an incredible accolade for really any person, but for it to transcend generations is truly unique. How do you feel about that legacy?
It's interesting. My mom's been gone a long time now. And back in 1978, when they hired me to be Laurie Strode, I was 19. I was just really starting out as an actress. And even though I know for sure that having my mom be my mom was a benefit to them in some weird, maybe we'll get a little more publicity for the movie. It didn't get me the part for sure. But people wanted to make me believe that it got me the part for a long time. And it is just the unfortunate assumption we all make that someone's child has no talent. It's just, I don't know why it's so easy for us all. And I say all because I'm a human being. We're all guilty of that. And so for a long time, I did feel that. And I felt like I had to be defensive about it. Now, of course, I understand. I mean, duh. And that it's okay. It doesn't matter. Because no matter what, when there's a camera pointed at you and there are 100 people standing around, you have to be able to do the work. I don't care what it is. Maybe you'll get a shot because you're somebody's kid. But once that mark is put on the ground and you're supposed to hit it and emote, if you can't do that, they don't go, oh, okay, well, let's give her another try. I mean, it doesn't happen. So it's an honor for me. It's a beautiful connection back to my mother, as you know, until a journalist busted my truth. I was checked into hotels as Marion Crane, which is in an honor of my mom. I'm highly aware of the beautiful linkage with my mom and proud of it.
I love it, honestly. And I think there's no denying at this point, the legacy that you yourself, independent of your mother, are leaving behind. And I can't personally think of any final girls that have stuck around as long as Laurie Strode. What do you think of Laurie as a character? Why does she resonate so much with people and has had such staying power?
I think John Carpenter and Deborah Hill, when they created those three girls, really created the three archetypes of women at the time. And Laurie Strode being the sort of brainiac, innocent, vulnerable, virginal, dreamer, romantic. And then you put that epitome of innocent youth in direct conflict, in direct collision with a monster who has a white face, who doesn't speak, who is targeting just her. That collision created such a groundswell of people caring for Laurie that for 44 years, they've continued to care for her. And the fact that she fought back and the fact that she was the final girl, that what that represented, I understand, but what that represented then was all of those attributes really got attached to me. And all of what you feel about Laurie Strode, you put right back on me. And at this point in 2022, we are inextricably melded. There is no separation of church and state. We are one. And so this is as much in a weird way a farewell Jamie tour as it is a farewell Lori tour, except it is the end of Lori. It is not the end of Jamie. It's the beginning of Jamie. In a weird way, I now have a creative life that I get to do because of Laurie Strode. So in a way, it's a birth and a death.
Absolutely. So I'm actually obsessed with the concept of Ouroboros, like a snake eating its own tail, and that every end is a fresh beginning. So I guess when Halloween ends, what begins for you?
So I'm now a producer. What I was just texting is about a movie that I'm producing. I'm producing a TV show. I'm producing another movie and going to direct a movie. I've written a movie. I have a business life. I'm a boss. I'm in it. I'm in it in a way that I always wanted to be. And now I am because of Laurie Strode, because of the success of those movies.
Absolutely. I mean, it's apparent when watching this film that, just because someone has survived, it doesn't necessarily mean that their boogeyman is gone. I mean, so what other ways would you say that like the boogeyman manifests for Laurie?
Well, the end of the 2021 movie, Halloween Kills, was at such a crescendo of sight, sound, visual. It was an opera moment that you could never start another movie that way. It would just be impossible. You would start these characters at such a fevered pitch. So musically, David was very smart, giving a 4-year time gap. There was a line that I improvised when Laurie's alone in the market and runs into her old friend Frank, where Laurie said, "It's been 4 years. That's like high school." Because to me, high school was like a lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
And 4 years is high school, the entirety of high school. So it gives you a sort of verisimilitude of time and place. It lets you know how much time is. And what's good about it is that Laurie Strode has finally been given the mental health support that 17-year-old Laurie never got. 17-year-old Laurie went back to school November 2nd. Maybe they gave her 1 day off. Maybe they gave her 1 day to process what had happened to her friends. And the next day she went back to school. She had a term paper due. Like, that's how much help she got. And that's the woman you meet in 2018, a woman who got no help. Now, at least in this last movie, we meet a Laurie who has been given some support, some mental health treatment, some grief counseling, some trauma therapy. And because of that, she can walk side by side with grief and concern and fear. But it doesn't have to consume her, because if it was consuming her, she'd be the woman we meet in 2018, and then there's no growth. So even though her daughter has been killed, even though the death of a child is the most traumatic thing that can happen to a human being, Laurie Strode is moving forward slowly. She smiles for a minute. Mm-hmm. You think for a second we're okay. And then the ceiling crashes in on her.
Absolutely. I mean, it's been an absolute pleasure going on this journey with you. I've been a fan of the franchise since I was a little child, and I never thought, teenage Scott definitely would never have thought that I'd be in this position to be able to chat with you about it. So
yeah, well, and by the way, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. That's why we do it. We do it so that you have a feeling of care and compassion for her. She represents something to you. You're going through a hard time. You went through something bad. You felt persecuted. You had to find inner resolve. That's the beauty of this. This isn't some exercise in popcorn selling necessary. You know what I mean? This is art.
Totally. And I wouldn't think that you would sign on to it if it was. So
exactly.
Honestly,
that's
perfect.
My point. So if you're not having that reaction, people have been like, "You're so emotional." I'm like, of course I'm emotional.
Exactly. What a fabulous note to end on. Jamie, thank you so much. I really, honestly, I can't say enough.
I appreciate you. I really appreciate you. Thanks a lot.
Of course. Thank you.
It's been 4 years. since Michael Myers vanished without a trace.
Hello?
I was certain that I saw him watching me.
You pretend like you moved on, but you're actually just obsessed with death.
What are you gonna do when Michael comes back for you? Because he is coming.
But this time, something feels different. He's more dangerous. He killed my daughter. But tonight, I will kill him. Come and get me. Maybe the only way he can die is if I die too. It all ends now.